Welcome to the review of my book, Maximum Damage. Now, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the core principles of my probable reaction dynamic fighting method. Now, this is a unique strategy that ensures you stay 2 steps ahead of your adversary at all times during a fight. Whether you're new to self-defense or a seasoned fighter, Maximum Damage will teach you how to seamlessly blend powerful strikes into fast, furious, and final combinations that dominate any confrontation. But that's not all. I've got something special for my War Machine Elite members, a full feature video that goes even deeper into these techniques, packed with full contact demonstrations. Now, in this exclusive video, you're going to see the PRD method applied in real-world high-pressure scenarios with intense live-action drills showing you exactly how these techniques work. You'll get a first-hand look on how to overwhelm your opponent with precision strikes, fluid combinations, and devastating counterattacks. And for those of you who are not yet War Machine Elite members, don't worry, I've got you covered. You're still going to get plenty of powerful content in this video. As always, pay attention and good luck. Hey everyone, before we dive back in, just a quick reminder, if you're finding this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe and share it with anyone who might benefit. It really helps the channel grow and I really appreciate your support. So here's the front cover of the book. Here's your spine and here's the back of the book. Now this is approximately 238 pages. It's loaded with photographs and step-by-step instructions. It's available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle edition, and I will put a link in the description down below if you'd like to check it out. So inside, here, let's see what we have here, the table of contents. We have a preface. We've got 7 chapters, glossary of terms, and about yours truly. So in this chapter, it's all about what probable reaction dynamics are all about, or what I call PRD. So this chapter gives you a really good introduction as to what it is, what unintentional PRD is as opposed to intentional PRD, and it discusses why it's really critical for self-defense. So this chapter really covers from beginning to end why it's necessary and how it gives you a tremendous advantage during a fight. Chapter 2 is basically PRD targets. Now I've broken it down into primary and secondary targets, and I give a very lengthy explanation of what they are, and then I start breaking down the targets and what the individual probable reaction dynamics that can occur. Because if you know that, you can totally exploit your opponent's reactions during the fight, and this gives you a tremendous advantage in a self-defense situation. So this chapter just goes through all the different targets and what you can expect from the reaction dynamics. At the end, there's also basically a test or a quiz to see how much information you have retained from this chapter. So this I've included to make it more interactive with the reader. Chapter 3 is the delivery system. So this chapter really talks about how PRD is integrated into the first strike principle, which is a very important component of my contemporary fighting arts combat system. So this whole chapter talks about how it's integrated into the first strike concept. Chapter 4 is basically hit him first, and this is all about first strike. So the previous chapter talks about the integration of PRD with first strike. This chapter talks about the first strike, and it gives you demonstrations on how the probable reaction dynamics are utilized and exploited in a first strike scenario. So you can see there's just lots of photographs covering lots of different scenarios. Chapter 5 is PRD in action. So what this chapter has is 20 PRD fighting scenarios that are illustrating both the first and secondary strike techniques that were discussed in the previous chapter. So it goes from scenario 1 all the way to scenario 20. Chapter 6 is when things go awry. So basically, probable reaction dynamics are not just limited to the opponent's defensive reactions. There are situations and times where your first strike technique doesn't provoke a defensive PRD from the adversary. So instead, he might respond with an attack of his own. So this is known as offensive PRD. So this chapter is basically covers this type of situation and how to best handle it. So it gives lots of examples how to handle an offensive PRD scenario. Chapter 7 is getting the most out of your PRD training. Now, this is designed to cover all different types of equipment from the heavy bag to the body opponent bag, double end bag, including sparring, shadow fighting, and of course, focus mitts, which is a very important tool for developing PRD development. We give lots of different combinations and examples on the focus mitts. Then we have a section here on advanced PRD focus mitt training with the advanced combinations. And of course, we have some PRD training for the ground in a ground fight. Finally, in the back of the book, I always include a glossary of terms because much of the terminology that's used in this book is exclusive to the contemporary fighting arts system that I've developed. And of course, we'll fast forward. There's some information about yours truly, and that is the end of the book. So there you have it. Maximum damage, hidden secrets behind brutal fighting combinations. Again, this is available on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description down below. And once again, guys, thank you for your time, and I'll see you at the next video.